Next up, we have Brad Cecil and Markus Meixner from ViewAR.
I got it for you. I'm told to speak loudly into this mic. All set? All right, cool. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for having us again. I'm Brad Cecil. I do biz dev with ViewAR. This is Markus Meixner.
Hi, nice to see you.
He's the founder and CTO. And we're going to tell you a little bit about ViewAR today. And you know, as a sales and biz dev guy, I prepared a 187 slide PowerPoint to show to you guys, and Markus thought that was a bad idea. He thought maybe we should just show you guys some apps. So we're gonna share Markus's screen. He's going to show us some apps, and I'm going to talk a little bit about ViewAR and what we do and how we do it and how we see ourselves as being a little bit unique. All right. So and then when I'm done, Markus is going to come up. He's going to take some questions. He's going to do a little freestyling and show you some cool stuff we're doing. All right. Cool. So ViewAR, we are a small company. We are headquartered in Vienna, Austria, and we are focused exclusively on providing the best possible custom visualization apps for business. And so we built a platform, and our platform can drive virtual reality and augmented reality, and we call that platform the ViewAR system. And so that ViewAR system, it's a flexible SDK framework, catalog of 3D models, and associated metadata. And with that, we can render multiple types of visualization experiences. Are you texting Julia again?
No.
No? Oh, okay, just checking. As I was saying, multiple experiences give us some unique capabilities to really cater to the business objectives of our clients. And so you know, one of the things that we do, we work with a lot of furniture companies, and as is common, people want to see what the furniture is going to look like in their home before they buy it. And as you can see, sometimes when the Wi-Fi is a little bit overloaded, it takes a while for the models to load on a live demo. But
that's actually the couch that Julia sent via text message. So she configured it with a custom color set and transferred it to me so I can take a look at it.
Yeah. So the message says, "Hey, Markus, you know, this is a cool couch. Buy this couch for us." He clicks on the link, and the couch that she designed and configured and that she wants to use appears like magic via augmented reality. And so, you know, this is a perfect example of how we're trying to drive business objectives. So in this case, we call this Crazy Couch. It's kind of a wild-looking piece of furniture there. And so in this business case, this allows women to tell their boyfriends how to design and furnish their homes, which is very critical and very important. So this is an app we built for Fama. And Fama is a Spanish manufacturer of furniture. They market their products worldwide. And they use a lot of crazy colors. And so they wanted us to build an app for them that would really leverage their market presence. Julie can design a couch. If Markus doesn't like it, he can design it and change it and do the things he wants to do. So we have a ability called Assembler, where we can assemble modular components using snapping points and business rules. And we also use something called Color Picker, where you can change the fabrics, the colors, the elements, the finishes, whatever you want in a product.
By the way, it seems like we're having an enormous delay for the screen transfer, maybe because of some caching in between. Is there a chance of directly putting the signal to the screen? Yeah? No. Okay. So then, just so you're aware, we're having quite a bit of a delay. I'm just going to go through the app and...
All right. I'll try to talk a little more slowly. All right. Well, what we try to build into all of our apps is a business process that we try to replicate. And so we're trying to not only drive engagement, but we look at all of our apps with 4 steps. And the first step is to engage the customers. The second step is to allow those customers to select from options that are available to them. Third step is to help them make a decision on what they like. So when Julia sent Markus a text saying, buy me this couch, apparently she'd made a decision. This is the couch I want. And then lastly, we want to encourage purchase and conversion. So those are the 4 steps we really try to build into every app. Now, the app that you were just seeing was without markers. And so that's something that Fama wanted. They wanted an app that was going to be quick and easy to use without having to print up any kind of tracker. But as a lot of you guys probably already know, using a marker, using a tracker, that really helps us to further automate the scaling and position of the models. So one of the big advantages that we bring to the marketplace is we can deploy a lot of different visual experiences using all kinds of different tracking technologies. So depending on what the customer is looking to do in terms of their visualization, we can use conventional trackers, we can go trackless, we can use SLAM tracking, what Vitaly mentioned a little bit earlier, and we also have virtual reality apps, as Vitaly also mentioned. So the wave of the future is actually right now, right? And so that's one of the, as I mentioned, that's one of our big advantages. So for each custom app, we'll use the best possible tracking technology to really serve the business purpose of the client. So another type of app that we'll build will be typically for architects and designers. And what they want to do is they want to show a composed environment, several models put together, and they want to impose that environment on an actual space. And so what they used to have to do back in the day, last year, is they would have to create these mock-up demos. So you'd have cardboard all cut up and taped together, placed in a room, and people would fly out and they'd walk through this mock-up room to see if the distance tolerances and heights and everything like that were up to spec. So now designers and architects, they can create this environment and they can create multiple iterations of it, right? And so they can allow people to kind of look at different ideas and different things using the different tracking technologies and see what they might like. And so, if we can help people decide what they like best, they'll make a quicker business decision.
Due to the delay, I might give some instructions of explanations of what I'm doing here. I was using a so-called SLAM tracking. So putting a marker on the floor, starting an initial learning of the environment, then placing an object, which is actually assembled inside the app. So we're talking about a snapping logic to construct items within the application. I can then walk around and save so-called freeze frames, which means I'm saving a perspective to the hard drive of the device, which I can later on open, do my changes. So the scenario is I'm taking 5 pictures of my room, sitting down on the couch, and then dressing those 5 perspectives that I have taken. So here you see the feature of the color picker.
Cool. Do you want to show our a walkthrough next?
Yeah, I actually started it, but it's having a minute delay. I'm already in the apartment that you were talking.
Oh, so cool. So you're ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm ahead of you. I'm
awesome.
Walking around in the apartment already on my device. So
I can't see it on the screen. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, so we showed you a couple of examples. We showed you a furniture example where you can see one model. We showed you some assembly. We've showed you a little bit of SLAM tracking. And now Markus what he's going to show us as soon as this refreshes is what we like to call a walkthrough. It's actually a true virtual reality type of application. And the app we're going to see is something we built for a company called POR. They are one of the top construction firms in Austria. And they are building some luxury condominiums in Frankfurt, Germany. And they want to be able to pre-sell the units. So to do that, we've created a virtual reality app for them, which you'll see soon. And it allows people to do a virtual walkthrough of the apartment before it's even built. They can see what the views are going to be from the windows and the balconies. They can switch up the furniture that's in there. They can change the colors of the floors and the walls, and they can really have a personalized experience with. Well, yeah, they can have a personal experience with the virtual environment. Technical difficulties. You know what's great about being an old guy is that how many old guys out there? Yeah. This is the old school way right here. This is how you give a presentation, right? These things never fail. Never fail. So as soon as this thing refreshes, we'll show you the virtual reality app. But Sorry about that.
Just
But yeah, the advantage is that obviously people can have a real personal relationship with the virtual environment. They can see what it is they like. They can change things around, and they can make a quicker purchasing decision. So if there's three things that we'd want to offer you in terms of the takeaway of today, is number one, that we've created a system that we call the ViewAR system. It's a stable SDK, and it allows us to really build a lot of different types of visualization experiences. With the different visualization experiences, we can deploy different types of tracking technology, so we can use whatever's going to be best depending on what the business needs of the client's going to be. So if they want to show an apartment, we can use virtual reality. If they want to show a whole room, we can use SLAM tracking, or we can use conventional markers. And thirdly, because of this approach, we can really deliver some significant ROI to our customers and really drive deeper engagements and faster purchasing decisions. So what we were hoping is I wanted to pass the mic and the floor to Markus. As I mentioned earlier, not only is he the star of our show today, but he's also the Chief Technical Officer of the company that he founded. So if you guys have any questions, technical questions, Markus would be happy to answer.
So since the streaming is working again, I'm showing you a different case which is also powered with our ViewAR database system and our ViewAR SDK that can visualize same objects coming from one database through different approaches. So for example, I can not only see a top view of a furnished apartment, I can also switch between pre-saved views like surveillance cameras, let's say, where you can then do changes within those views. And a very interesting feature is that we can do a so-called experience mode, which is a walkthrough visualization of an apartment. So I can point my iPad into a direction and control my walkings with a joystick, being able to customize my creation of an apartment before I actually want to buy it. So let's, for example, rotate this item around and see how that would look. So I'm also going to show you a few things that we created which are pretty unique. For example, a customer named Designer is focusing on product design with glass as their main focus. So basically what we do is we created a real-time rendering of glass. So we're basically using the camera image in order to project glass in our environment. Now as I'm having the screen share up again, I'm gonna start the application from before or show you some metadata. This is actually a German customer of ours, a sofa reseller. And what makes this case pretty interesting is their metadata import that we performed for them. So not only that they want to place furniture, not only that they want to try out different colors, they also have a lot of metadata to display. And that's all imported through an automated API. So basically our message is an application with 5 objects on a marker or even without a marker can be done on a weekend. That's not a big deal. But you have to consider that we're talking about probably a lot of objects from companies having metadata, having custom requirements. You have to connect ERP systems, and you want to use something out of the box where you would have a very good choice with the ViewAR SDK, where we're starting our testing phase. So come by at our booth and see some more demos. And yeah, any questions so far?
The application for glass, what's the end use for that?
Can you ask the question again with Mike?
with the glass application?
It's a company focusing on product design. So, for example, they're doing a concept for the new Gatorade bottle, showing their customer a design using this tool in order to exchange a 3D model to a client in a very simple way. So they're uploading a 3D model of a new bottle design, showing the special grip or whatever kind of feature of a bottle, transferring an ID, like I got the couch, via text, and you can bring up that certain model inside an application on the other end of the world.
Thank you.
So I'm going to piggyback on that question. So I work at a similar company that does that type of stuff. So how does my company work with ViewAR or ViewAR AR to implement an app or a customized app that does something similar? Actually very similar to what you just showed.
There are two approaches. Either we give the SDK to you with the abilities to actually brand the whole application. We're overlapping an HTML5 layer on top of our 3D view. So you'll get some sample code for the UI of the application. You can design it yourself as soon as you have web programming skills. Or the other way would be you provide us like design files, and we will take over creating the full application for you, digitalizing the objects so we can provide full service. But we're also happy to introduce you to our uploading pipeline and modeling pipeline in order to not make you dependent on us. We want to focus on our technology, so we see both cases happening.
If there are no further questions, then we can move on to the next one. Thank you very much.